Welcome to another video. In today's video, I am making this abalone clock. How fabulous is this? Let's jump right in. So it all starts with this mold. This mold is by Nicole Molds, and it is fabulous because you see a lot of round clock molds, and I love a little square one, and I especially love those 135 numbers on the side. I think they're really cool. Okay, so to get this project underway, I will start with some Bouvanite. Once again, this is an eco resin from Nicole Molds, and I'm going to go ahead and mix some, and I'm going to be doing a terrazzo look. So we're going to be adding some of these Abalone Shells to get the terrazzo effect, and these are from Just For You Online UK. I am going to link everything in the description below along with my discount codes. So let's get mixing. So I'm going to mix the Bouvanite, and it is essentially an eco resin, and it comes with the liquid and the powder. And make sure you follow the instructions of the mixing ratios, just because there are a lot of eco resins out there and a lot of them tend to have different ratios. So I think with this one, I'm just going to stick with the natural white color because I want the shells to really shine in this project. So we're just going to go with the natural color. I'm not going to tint it. I'm going to mix up a batch and get started with it, and probably might have to mix a second batch to top up. So Nicole Molds have a bunch of really cool molds. If you haven't seen my video where I made the candles with their molds, go check that out. They have some really fun and really unique molds, and I think I'm definitely eyeing some of their Christmas collection molds. So yeah, you might be seeing some of that soon. So now that my Bouvanite is mixed, I'm going to go ahead and get out my Abalone Shells. Because we're doing it terrazzo, I'm going to need quite a bit. So yeah, what I plan to do is pour some of the Bouvanite into the shells, and this will be sort of like the first layer that goes in, which is sort of saturated with the shells, because when we're topping up the rest of the mold, we don't necessarily need the shells in the back, because that would just be wasting the shell. So we only need them to be on the surface for when we sand them down for them to be revealed. So that is the plan. I'm just going to go out and put the first layer down. So that's me just using my stick to kind of spread out the material all over to the mold. And like I said, I am going to have to go ahead and mix some more and fill up the rest of this. Okay, so that's my second batch in. Now you'd notice that I haven't filled this up all the way to the top because I'm thinking I want to sort of put a layer of epoxy in the back to finish this off. And the reason for that is I think it's going to give it more sort of rigidity and durability to the clock, just because obviously resin is pretty hard, and even though eco resin is pretty sturdy on its own, I just feel like the combination of two is going to make this more sort of durable and heavy duty, if you like. So that's the plan. So I'm going to leave this to cure roughly for an hour and be back to sort of top it up with some resin. So I forgot to film the bit where I topped it up with resin, but essentially it was my J Diction Officials resin with some white pigment, and that's it. I literally topped it up all the way to the top of the mold and added my signature. So that was all I did. Now this is after the resin is cured and it is time for unmolding. Wow, that came off so nice and easy. Right, so this is what it looks like. I'm super happy with the finish. It is nice and smooth. Okay, so I have a bit of a sharp lip at the bottom of this, so we're going to go ahead and use this deburring tool and get rid of that. We're obviously going to have to sand down the surface to reveal the shell terrazzo. So Nicole Mold actually sent me this handy dandy little sander in the Bouvanite kit, and it's really cool because it has this little handle on it and you can sand away nice and easy. And I'm going to wet sand this, so I have my tiny bit of water and let's get sanding. So in the hindsight, which is a lovely thing, I actually didn't need to do this sanding bit because in a minute we're going to go ahead and fill out the little numerals and the markers on the clock with the resin. And then once that's cured, I'd have to sand down the entire piece anyway, which would obviously also reveal the shells. So this sanding that I'm doing now, in the hindsight, was completely unnecessary. So yeah, I wish I'd known that at the time because you know how much we love sanding. But anyway, so after all that sanding, you can really start to see the shells now, and we can finally move on to the next step. So I have mixed up a tiny amount of resin, which we're going to go ahead and fill into these numerals and markers. Now I've gone for this color called Carrot Patrol, and it's an awesome greeny, bluey color. It's really strange to describe, but I can see that on camera it literally looks like black, but let me tell you, it's not. And I just feel like it will complement nicely with the colors of the shells. So I have let my resin sit up for a bit so it's nice and thick, because we are gonna put this into a piping bag and pipe into those little cavities. Now at this stage, I just want to make sure that the cavities are completely filled with resin, and I'm not too concerned about any overspill because like I said, we're gonna have to go ahead and sand the living daylight out of this. So I just want to make sure when I do sand it, there aren't any voids and the resin is completely filled up top. So now for my favorite bit, it's sanding time.
Not another one? Oh, for God's sake, I can't honestly. Why does she need to do it?
So I've got my orbital sander and I am going 80 grit because I'm impatient like that and I don't want to be doing this forever. So yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and sand it all down so the resin numerals are nice and flush with the rest of the clock. And finally, we are going to go ahead and coat it to seal all of it. And I'm using this Protect It sealer from Resonate. It comes in a nice spray bottle, so I just like to spray it and then sort of work it into the surface. And I'm going to leave this to dry, and we will come back and finish this clock. So I also got all the bits of the clock with this mold from Nicole Molds. So the clock mechanism, the hands and the casing, they all came with it. What I might do though is spray paint the clock hands because I got white, and because I've kept the clock white, I think they're just not gonna be visible enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and probably spray paint them gray. And now to fix everything together. So I do love the fact that this is a proper clock mold and I don't have to go ahead and find the center of the mold and then drill into it. You know, the little hole is already there and the mechanism fits right into it. So that is the clock ready. Let me show you some final shots. This is how this turned out. Absolutely love the effect of those sort of iridescent colors of those shells peeking through the bouvanite. It's so rustic, it's so coastal even. Absolutely love the vibe. I want to hear from you in the comments what you think of this project. So make sure you let me know, and make sure you like and subscribe and click the notification bell to get notified every time I post another video. And now I will see you in the next video. Bye.